And here we are.
Fucking about that then. There you go.
Yep.
Okay.
G'day, everyone. We're live. We're missing Mert tonight. He's gone on a little vacation with his family. Good on him. Half his luck. And we were actually contemplating just recording a podcast Monday or something next week. And then we thought, fuck it. Let's go online and just have a really relaxed conversation and question and answers. And as something extra, we'll probably send out the link to the StreamYard thing. And if anyone wants to join in for a little bit of video action, just let us know.
Yeah, I'll send it.
Hey, Stink, how you going, mate?
For a few randoms in the comments, I'm going to send the link out. If you click on the link, you can join us on screen and tell us about yourself and what you do. Tonight's about just a bit of a shout out for, well, whatever. It's just a bit of a, well, Mert's not here to control it, so we're just going to do whatever, really.
Yeah, Mert likes to dictate what we get up to.
He runs the show. He's the one that wears the pants in this relationship.
Yeah. There's our regular. Big Dino.
Yeah, no, I'm sending him a link. Fuck, it's about time we had Dino's face in here. There you go, Dino.
Click on the link, Dean. Have you got a webcam, mate? Make us look good. At least we're going to look spunky if you're on.
I'm going to give fucking Smithy one as well. There you go. I hope some of these guys have got to click on the link and then you can come and join us. It's not that hard. It's not hard.
This is gonna be silly.
It's gonna be fucking epic. All right,
Jamie Bishop, mate, get on there. There is a feed. Get on it, mate. Come on.
Don't try and call me, dude. Just click on the fucking link. All right, I'm on a podcast. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm on screen.
Get onto your messenger and click your freaking link, mate. Come on, get on it.
If it doesn't work, well, it's Kev's fault.
Too bad, so sad. Before we actually logged in tonight, I was having a technical shocker. I lost my camera, and then I turned off my hotspot hosting for my phone, internet. all in the backstage, all in the off stuff. So how's it going? We got Pierre, we got Julianne. Julianne, you're our regular. Well, g'day tonight. Jamie's back on. He had to reload it. We got Douglas, if you don't pause between his first and last name. Stan Stanley. There's Matt Snape. Hey, Matt, how are you? So, hey, let's go straight into the story time. I had Matt and his son, Brett, down here for a knife making course on what days was it, Matt?
Let's get Matt on. I'll send him a fucking...
What days was it, Matt? Saturday, Sunday?
Get Matt on.
I've been teaching so many classes midweek and weekends. I really don't even know what day it is. And they were down Monday and Tuesday, which is technically Saturday and Sunday when you teach.
I've now invited more people that can physically fit in the group. So I hope somebody says yes, because it's kind of feeling a bit lonely here. Who else are we going to invite? Julianne. I don't have her as a friend, so sorry, Julianne. I'll add you as a friend.
Tim, what do you mean your F-bomb count is already out of control? We haven't even sworn yet. I don't know what you're going on about, mate. You've obviously got a filter on there that makes it sound like we swear.
Which Timmy is that?
Tim Harrop. Dean, go into your messenger. Dino, go into your messenger, see the thing from Corin, click the link.
Matt figured it out.
Oh. We got one of the technological wizards here.
You're a wizard.
Just dumb luck, I'm pretty sure of that, actually.
So, Matt, I believe you went down to Kev's and did a bit of knife making.
Yeah, and although Kev can't remember what day of the week it is at the best of times, we discovered when we got there, and he said, right, so what we're doing on Saturday, it's like, today's Sunday, Kevin. You mean what we're doing on Monday? That's tomorrow. It's Tuesday. Like, he's like, oh, I don't know. Oh, that explains. Then there was some story about, oh, that explains why the traffic was so light the other day.
Yeah, no, what that was, right, as well, is I had to, it's a fairly long story and I won't go into it, but I had to get a second-hand car. We had to get another car in the family. And I drove up to Sydney and I took Ro with me. And we're driving along through Sydney and I go, man, it's pretty quiet for Monday. And Ro looks at me and goes, that's because it's Saturday. And I went, oh, shit, okay. It was pretty busy for Saturday. And then I came home and, back from Sydney that day, and then had Matt and Brett around for the knife making course Monday and Tuesday. And then I had to go back up to Sydney yesterday to pick the car up, and that was an adventure. We caught the train up from Canberra to Central, jumped straight out onto the train out to Bankstown, got off the train at Bankstown and went, right, where's the bus? And it was literally sitting right in front of us. Shit, jumped on the bus and got off at the front door of the car yard we got the car from, out at Revesby, of all places. So, bought some food and jumped in the car and came home. And it's that was an adventure.
I don't know about you guys, but I live, sort of in Sydney, and sounds like Kev spent more time on Sydney public transport recently than I have in the last 12 months. And there's a reason for that. It's because it's shit. So,
see, that's the thing, though. You guys have got that perspective of being there when everything goes wrong, and then for us, Canberra public transport is fucking disgusting. It's woeful. We have a bus service that is completely shocking, and a light rail that accommodates about 2% of the population of Canberra. So when we go up to Sydney and we can walk off one train into another and then onto a bus and get where we want, and it costs like $5 or something, it was fantastic. But that's the perspective of somewhere that has atrocious public transport. Andrew, what's your experience of public transport down in Tasmania?
There is none. Full stop. Nothing. I think the bus is about 30 k's away.
That's a small walk to the bus stop.
Just a little, yeah. Over the mountain, yeah. Not fun.
So, what have you got to tell us, Andrew?
First up, big shout outs to Pierre Methlin and Dom Binkett. They got into this month's Blade magazine. Joined the high esteem of others.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So who was that? Dom Binkett and
Pierre Methlin.
Oh,
Pierre got his W2 dagger in there.
Yeah.
So that's August?
I do believe,
wow.
Yeah.
Who knows? What day is it?
Well, that's it. You know, I've subscribed to the magazine, but I haven't seen a physical copy in about 2 months. So it'll get here when it gets here.
Yeah.
I got a question to ask you. I arrived just yesterday. A parcel arrived for me. Was that you, Andrew?
That was.
Oh, fuck. I'll go and get it. You guys talk for a minute.
So what other exciting news, Andrew, from the KAA's perspective?
KAA, the latest raffle. People who want to win that mill. There's just over 400 tickets left. Get onto it quick. If we can draw it early, we will.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've already got another 1 or 2 raffles in the pipeline. So
yeah,
watch this space.
Secret squirrel stuff at the moment. But Andrew and I and a couple others in the committee, we have a little bit of a chat every now and then about, you know, what next? What can we do that's bigger and better? And we're putting through the ideas. And I can only say that the raffles are going to continue to be pretty impressive, I reckon. But yeah, for this latest one, get on it, people. 400 tickets to go for, you know, your chance at winning some pretty freaking cool prizes on there, that's for sure.
Yeah, I have to say too, guys, from a punter's perspective, because I'm definitely only that, really, really good. These raffles are fabulous. So it's good that it's going to support the association, and it's just great to be involved as well. So well done.
Cheers. No.
We've got another one on board. Les, how you going, mate?
Kev, how you going?
I'm good.
We'll move cycle people through as we go during the night. But anyway, I've got this parcel arrived in the mail, and I thought, and there's only one person that can be, but I haven't spoken to him yet. And here he is on screen, Andrew Smith. If you're wearing a knife making down under shirt, Andrew did the logo, did the stuff on one of them. But anyway, this is what was in the parcel.
Oh, you suck.
How predictable.
Roll out the barrel.
Barrel knife. I believe that's like someone's got a drink now or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm like, nice phone board.
Drown
Nice
our
river.
sorrows.
So yeah, I'll hang that one up on the wall. And
Yeah, get that one framed.
Yep.
So Andrew, are the rumours true that you're going to be the editor of the new Barrel Knife Monthly magazine?
I think I already am, aren't I?
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, well done.
Well, Matt, it's probably a good time to bring up the suggestion that you had when you were at my place at the workshop, and you're talking about potentially doing like an Australian knife makers calendar.
Ah, right, yeah. But
Thanks,
please
November.
note, we want this to be featuring the knives, not the makers,
We
because
did talk about.
I think
we
as a
did talk about-
money-raising venture, photos of any of the gentlemen that I have met in my limited time associated with this group would not be a seller, I think.
Look,
May very
Matt
well be
actually-
censored.
Don't be so
Just-
humble,
Just
Matt.
on taste. Just on taste, really.
Matt actually vomited in his mouth a little bit when I suggested that the centerfold could be sausage man naked with his hand forged sausage pan in front of his, genital area, but with a single Kransky in the pan. Oh, that would sell copies on its own. That would sell copies on its
Two
own.
hard-boiled eggs, but anyway.
Two hard-boiled eggs and a Kransky.
And Jamie, I'm sure you're watching. I reckon they'd be quail's eggs, but anyway.
Jamie's
Jamie's there. I'll find him here.
Jamie's watching. Jamie's watching.
All right, so let's just do a quick introduction. I'm going to boot one of yous out occasionally after you've had a bit of a go. Matt, you're the first off. So, Matt, tell us a bit about yourself.
Living in the Hawkesbury, northwest of Sydney, just far on the correct side of the Hawkesbury River. Teach engineering and CAD design in TAFE. Been doing that for about 10 years. Come from a science background, but I've got parents and family in trade, so come from that area as well.
Yep. So, how long have you been interested in the knife industry?
I had, first knife was the Swiss Army pocket knife my grandparents bought me when I was a kid. But I actually started sharpening knives at the local market as a bit of a side gig about 3 years ago, I suppose. So sharpening people's kitchen knives and all that sort of thing, and just sort of got into it and started, went to one of the knife shows and met some of you guys and that sort of thing, and been sort of really keen on it ever since, and sort of just getting into it now. And the course that myself and my son did with Kev Monday, Tuesday this week was actually
experience.
Yeah, you could say that. But yeah, that was sort of my first go at first time I'd ever forged. Been playing around with stock removal and stuff. So yeah, it's cool.
Matt and I, it was pretty much in the second day, wasn't it, that we kind of realised that we had certain mutual things that we were pretty close with, I reckon.
Yeah, both
we did a little bit of bonding.
Both cranky middle-aged men turning into elderly curmudgeons, I think we decided. But yeah, we get pissed off by the same people, I think. Yeah,
it was funny. A couple of the little minor major rants that we went off, and we're just sitting there pissing ourselves at each other, going, you just sound just fucking like me. So, Corin,
it's a bit scary.
You got a delivery today of something that was pretty cool from Andrew.
Oh yes,
you fucking poster, you dimwit. Yeah, that's a pretty small poster, but it's.
Did I mention it was in Blade magazine? See,
it's cute. I got a delivery today. Two humongous boxes from Australia Post from the man down there Les, I've got one of his forges coming. Oh, well, it's coming. It's here. I'm going to put it together and fix it up now. But Les has been making these really cool forges, and he listened to the episode that we were talking about with regards to the forges, and then he made me up this U-Butte forge with the 2 big burner attachment, which caused a little bit of controversy.
It did.
But okay. I don't want to know, do I?
Well, you
something
do.
Something for another.
I fired one up today, Kev, and it goes like a bloody beauty.
Yeah, I saw it.
perfect.
You sent me the you sent me the
Yeah.
2 videos, and I got to admit, mate, the smile was bigger than what it is now.
Yeah.
I've just got to get the time to put that sucker together. I can't wait. And I've got the 2 burners lined up to come down next week. And then I think it's going to be, I'll probably have to go down to Bunnings and buy about another 5 or 6 8.5 kilo gas bottles, because I think in the first few weeks of using that thing, I'm going to go through a fair bit of gas just watching shit melt.
You're using the larger Gamaco burners in that, aren't you, Kev?
In the new one, I will be, yeah.
Yeah. Corin, didn't you just sell out of those, mate?
Yeah, that'd be bad for Kev if we did. Yeah.
Mm.
That's because they said so many to me.
Yeah. You bastard.
All right, Matt,
Damn.
I'm going to move out and move Sausage Man in. So, see you, mate. Thank you for
Nice.
all your support every
See you,
week.
mate.
And thank you for joining
Good
us
to see you,
tonight.
mate.
No worries at all. Thank you, guys. Nice seeing everybody.
No worries at all, mate. Andrew,
G'day.
how are you?
Howdy.
Hey, for those that don't know Andrew Smith contacted me first in 2014 when we were trying to run the first Sydney Knife Show, and he said, "Gents, if you need any help getting this show on the road, I'm super keen to help you, and I just want to help." And I said, "Fine, yeah, let's do it." So instantly he became a member of the Knife Art Association, and we started from there. Basically, Andrew's done all the design work for everything for the Knife Art Association since we started it. Basically, since 2000, after that show, really.
Yep.
So after the first show, so Andrew's been around for a while, and Andrew, you're not a maker per se.
No, collector.
Have you made many?
No, not quite yet. Got a kit happening at the moment downstairs, but that's about it.
So,
It'll happen.
Shit.
Bloody good way.
so you collect knives, mate. So what sort of knives do you like to collect most?
I've got a decent collection of either fighters or bowies, hunters, some from America, some from Australia. They just keep on. Usually every show I try to pick up something that sparks my interest. So the collection, continues to grow.
Awesome.
I should do a post, take some decent photos, and be a bit more active on the forums and those Facebook pages, and show people what I've got.
So you guys are down in Tasmania, yeah?
Yep.
And
now
you
south of Hobart.
An hour south of Hobart, so pretty much getting down into God's country.
Absolutely.
And
Beautiful place down there.
and you work in the knife industry. Obviously, nowadays you're the employee of the Knife Art Association, so you're still doing everything for the Knife Art Association.
Let's just say also that at the moment he's probably going to go for a world record of the most consecutive employee of the month anywhere.
We got a nasty letter. From the New South Wales government about not paying our work health and safety because they see that we operate in New South Wales. I had to point out to them that we don't have any employees in New South Wales. He's in Tasmania, so they could fuck off. And anyway, they did.
Yep.
Yeah. So there you go. So Andrew's the guy you'd speak to. He's the face behind the man, behind the emails, behind the Facebook. He looks after all of our social media, and he does an absolutely fantastic job.
Stellar job. Stellar job.
So yeah, we could do it without Andrew, but we'd have someone else. But we couldn't do it the same way without Andrew. So I just just want to shout that out because if you don't know him, he's one of the most influential people, as far as I'm concerned, in our industry. And as you just heard, he's also a customer and he buys knives off us. So, yeah, how good's that? It's everything.
Here.
No.
Roger
So-
that.
Privileged to be in this job.
Who we got down here in the middle?
That's Dino.
Who's this fella?
Oh no,
He's just-
he's an idiot.
He's just been quietly sitting there, this little smile on his dial.
He's
That's
Come
Ivan.
on, mate.
That's Ivan.
Ivan, the
that's it.
ring bearer.
Just remember, have a look at the ring. It's there and it's incorporated in the shirt. It's there. Yeah.
Hey, Dino,
Yeah,
check out the t-shirt.
No. Oh, fuck off. Get it up there,
Well,
boys.
Most of your lads paid for him, but Sausage Man, he doesn't. Well, he did pay for him, and Andrew, well, he got one as well. But same token, I thought that I thought Kevin fucking come on board and buy one as well. But like things don't come cheap, mate. Like the knife you sold to me.
I'm just holding out to see the caliber of people that wear your shirts. And so far, I've seen 2 of them on here that are really convincing me it's the right thing to buy.
Really? Thanks.
But Dan said, "Fucking wanker." I tell you, I love you to death, but you're a wanker. No.
Now, Matt, if Matt Snape was still on here, he would say that's probably the nicest thing that's been said about me in the last week.
Well, hey Kev, honestly, ask Andrew. Andrew, isn't it the most bloody warmest thing you've ever worn ever? Hey, tell me.
No, it's actually look, it's good. Being in Tasmania, where it's currently about 2 degrees outside, I'm not going to say it's the warmest thing.
Well, mate, it's not fucking made out of thermal fucking, military fucking, like, it's a nice fucking hoodie, mate, but you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus, wet, you're paying what you get, but anyway,
Kind of feels if I was walking down the street in America and I had a different colour skin, they'd beat the shit out of me. I should have gone there.
That's a very sexy looking hoodie you got there, Corin. Can you please tell me all about that? It has to be warm.
So,
Dino, I'd put mine on if it was here, mate, but I haven't seen either or here.
it's actually a little bit too warm. I'm just going to take it off. But anyway,
sausage man, right? Don't be a shit cunt. Like fucking, you're getting the fucking hoodie and a fucking t-shirt, right? And I'm looking after you, you bitch, right? But the bloke up here, like the Brady Bunch, right up here in the top corner, like Kev Slater, he's got no fucking interest, mate. All you boys have looked after me, but this Brady Bunch bloke here has got no fucking interest whatsoever. I mean, what's the go there? I mean,
What do you
Jesus
mean, mate?
wept. Huh?
I think you're giving him a hard time here on air. live.
I'm looking at the scale of economy, and I'm going, I fucking give my t-shirts away with a knife, or I sell them for $25. And then when I go online and I go, fucking $45 for a t-shirt, and that's not including postage. Shit.
Brother, we're not talking about a t-shirt, we're talking about a hoodie, right? So, but
hoodie.
anyway, it's one your way anyway, bitch. So, and I've taken your cost, even though the Corin paid for it, right? Sorry, there. And so did Andrew, and so did Sausage Man, and you got one coming for free. So that shows that
that comes
I'm
at a
admittedly
price.
open that.
I tell you what, that comes at a price.
I fucking hope it does. We've already talked about
don't
courses,
worry,
bitch.
Yeah, don't worry.
The price is you get a photo of
My
the
next order has to. Yeah, my next order has to go in soon, and I'm going to have to order another 5XL or something for you or something.
No, I don't need a 5XL, you knucklehead. I need a fucking 4XL, and that's all I ask. This 3/8. Now, I'm going to bring it up. These beautiful shirts you got, and they are amazing. I'm not having a diss, but you got to think about the fucking 4XL dude, right? Not this 3XL shit and the 5XL shit. The fucking 4XL dude's missing out. Yeah, I know, Corin, you're getting me a mouthful.
You know
Corin.
you know what I'm going to say, mate.
I know you're going to say.
You want to fucking fit one of our shirts, mate? You've got to either eat a hamburger or go for a walk. Not my problem.
Hey,
Yeah, that's it.
can I show you guys something, right? I'm going to show you guys something, right? Have a look at this. This is my grandfather. It was, look at that.
You doesn't look old enough to
What?
be your grandfather, dude.
Shut up. It is my fucking grandfather, you idiot. All right? So have a look. So what I'm trying to say to you is that absolutely
You look
FUBAR,
a lot like
nothing
you
to
look a lot
do with
like
what
your
you're talking
grandfather.
about. Yeah, no.
Well,
It's the 4XL, not
I'm going to
3.
cycle through. Andrew, you have a good one, mate. Thank
You
you,
too.
for everything
Talk
you
soon.
do for the industry.
See you, Andrew. Thank
Appreciate
you.
what you're doing, mate.
A
We
great
really
man, and he does a lot of great selfless stuff for everyone. He's a great man. A lot of respect for you, fella. Massively, actually.
Cheers, mate. Talk soon.
See,
Top bloke.
Bye, mate.
Bloody
Booty
top
before
bloke.
people start fucking crying. Jesus.
Who's
Oh.
Bart? Bart's on. There you go.
Okay,
Oh,
gents.
come on, Kev. It's getting old. There's crying shit, you know. Like,
I'm going to
Everyone
say
had a-
that you looked a lot like your grandfather in that photo, but you've got more grey hair in your beard.
yeah, well, I'm getting old, mate, because you're young. All you boys are young chickens. Or other than, well, bloody hell,
Hey, hang
when
on
were
a
you
minute.
born, mate?
I'm 280 dwarven years old, mate. Like, how old are you?
You're a fucking idiot, sausage man. I love you.
I've
That's
got to be good at
hilarious.
something, mate. Yeah.
Ah, mate, you're doing great, mate. Your works you're doing, mate. I'm very proud of you, and I aspire to be like you, mate, and all you boys. You know, you all mean the world to me, sort of thing. But anyway,
Right. You
Well,
know,
so did you see?
Yeah, well,
What?
Anyway,
So,
where
Les,
were we?
Les, with your forges, mate, how long have you been making these forges?
Probably only for about 12 months, but been mucking about with that sort of stuff for a long time, but making them to sell for about 12 months.
Yeah, because just the quick look that I had in the box today, the quality is bloody fantastic, mate.
Bloody
I've
hell.
been a tinkerer for a long time. I'm actually an accountant, so I only do that in my spare time. And I've got a good mate who helps as well.
So you got the coin to do it.
No,
So-
everything's just a tax write-off.
so you're the kind of guy.
They're priced right, put it that way, Dean.
Yeah, mate. No, I understand, brother. I understand, mate. No, good on you. And I've seen them. They're beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of research, a lot of work. I've taken a lot of notice of what Corin has to say. He's the real expert. And I sort of prick the ears up when
Bloody
he
hell.
speaks. And the one that Kev got, I'm making one a full forge for another bloke, and he was interested in something similar to what Kev was looking for. And when Corin spoke about the big burners, and we've spoken previously about the size of the forge and what sort of burners you should have with it, the two big burners in that forge that all just came together, I reckon. You don't get nearly as much. It's interesting with the big forge burners, you don't get nearly as much dragon's breath coming out the front as you do with the eco burners.
They'll
Yeah.
entail a lot more air.
Bloody hell, mate.
You get a lot more air through them.
Yeah, it's got a bigger front opening than standard. The back opening's a little bit bigger. I haven't done any heat testing yet with this one because I fired it up today just to cure the refractory. Tomorrow, the next day, I'll do a bit of a heat test run on it and see what range it's got. But it's going to have plenty of range. It'll run really low without fluttering, and it's got heaps of top end. Yeah, it roars like a bloody Boeing 737.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
there were comments made on one of the posts you put up about the fact that you did identify they were custom jobs with the big burners, and there were comments made about every man and his dog's going to look at this as an essential thing to put two big burners on a forge, and we quashed that pretty quickly because they were custom orders for a specific reason. Now I've got a single burner forge similar size that I use for all of my classes and stuff, and it pumps out plenty enough heat. It gets up the forge welding like it sits just on the money. But the main reason I wanted your forge was because I want a dedicated forge for doing Damascus. And I want something that's going to sit at or above that forge welding temp to get my billets just cranking hot. And that was the whole thing. And then when we talked to Corin about it, and he was basically saying that, the logical thing of you can always turn the big burners down, you can't always turn the little burners up.
Exactly.
That was the thing in a nutshell. And I've seen those big burners run, like you're saying, at the forging temperatures, and they just chug along perfectly.
Yeah. I'm confident this forge will run well below 600 degrees all day, every day, if you wanted it to. But it'll crank up to 1200 degrees easy, and you won't have to sit there for half an hour to wait for it to get to that temperature.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. It should all be set up, hopefully towards the end of next week. I'll have a place to set up. I've got myself some KO wool and stuff. I'm in two minds about how I want to do the bottom, whether I want to actually do refractory cement or whether I want to do fire bricks.
Yeah.
So I might do fire bricks.
Fire bricks are easily replaced. It's interesting how easy, because your forge bolts together, if you unbolt it and pull it apart, the refractory comes out in one piece anyway, so it's easy to replace. It's because it's sitting on the ceramic wool underneath as well, so it's not embedded into the steel on the bottom, so it'll be easy to replace.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to look at.
Yeah, I can make inserts as well. I can make inserts that go inside the big burner inserts on the top of the forge, so you can put eco burners in if you like. It's a real easy. You just slide them in and then slide the eco burners in inside them.
Just a little tip. Make sure you pack. You've got a reusable. You've got a socket at the top that you can put the sockets into and bolt them in place. Yeah, just make sure you pack around them really well with wool or with something so that you don't get the hot gases coming up around the socket, because it will just give it a longer life. So, I leave a pretty good layer when I make mine of ceramic wool around the socket as it goes in, and a smaller hole in the middle. And there's very little chimney effect that you usually find when you lose positive pressure, when you switch it off. That's when you get heat coming back up, like a chimney effect. But it's not so bad if you get your ceramic wool right around that burner head. Yeah, so long as it's a good fit. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And over time, as that wobbles and wears, just be prepared to pack it. That's all I'm going to say. But otherwise, it looks like a great product and doing well. So happy days.
Thanks, mate.
Happy days.
I'm going to give it a serious freaking workout. And you'll hear from me.
Hear all about it, yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'm hoping you hear about it with a big smile on my face and waving big billets of Damascus around, saying this thing is a fucking legend. It just, I have a good feeling it's just going to be unreal. I've seen the other ones working. I've seen the other ones going, and I think this is just that step up now. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So just going to jump in. If anybody wants to join in tonight and ask some questions online, I'm cycling people through, as you've seen. Just flick me a message on Facebook and I will send you a link.
Who have we got down in the corner there, mate?
Before we go, Les, I'm gonna move you on and move in someone else, mate. You have a good one, buddy.
Privilege, mate. Thank you.
Thanks for your support every week and everything, Les. We appreciate it.
Catch you, mate.
Catch you, brother.
Hey, mate.
Hey, Kev.
Privilege, mate. Thank you.
Bart. We got somebody.
Catch you, mate.
Mate, you just got to wait for Corin to get his shit together, okay?
What have I done wrong?
Nothing.
Well, the guest that's now down here was just about to introduce himself, and then you've gone and thrown someone else in. And
it's all good. Hey, Kev.
Somebody's got it running in the background. I think that's all right. I know who it is.
Feedback.
Feedback, Ian. I'm just going to remove the freak. You're going to turn. You've got it under control. Look at that. Awesome. All right, go for it.
Hey, I'm Bart, and I'm in one of your associated groups. I'm an armourer. I make medieval armour, and I go to Corin and Gamaco all the time to get the forges. And in my forges, I start making hammers. Armouring needs a bucket load of hammers. And I've done 5 or 6 knives just along the way, but I listen to all you guys because of your great social media presence, and I can get tricks and I can get processes that I'll then convert into what I'm doing with the armoring. And I listen along and learn a lot from, and then I convert it from knife making into armoring and making hammers and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Not many armourers in Australia, and it's good to have a community to have a listen along to.
No, there's a lot of, and
nice.
you guys deal with the same sort of things we see, where there's a lot of imported, very cheap material. Like I go to Ironfest every year, so we see that sort of stuff. And I guess you guys can offer a service that those guys can't, being, custom made, custom detailed,
Fit.
custom fit.
Yeah, you can't get fit over the internet.
It's steel, mate. It's steel. It eventually breaks in and like a boot, doesn't it?
No, you got to get it right first go. There's fabric underneath, and you sew. Yeah, you have the fabric underneath, and then you've got the steel, and you've got to get it right. But then there's a whole other art to getting the fabric right, and then you get into the steel layers, and you just got to get it right.
We had a couple of armourers come to the symposium, didn't we, Kev, last year?
We did, yeah, this year. Earlier this year.
Yeah, it just feels like last year with all the COVID stuff.
It does, doesn't it? It's madness, yeah.
Yeah,
Times are funny. Yeah, so you'd probably be able to tee up Sausage Man to get a gauntlet for his new forged sausage pan.
Absolutely.
Nice one.
It's Aldi sausage pan.
God, look at this. We've got who's just squeezed his missus out.
I've got a pair.
Yeah. We see Julianne every week in the comments.
Yeah.
I'm good. So
tell us about yourselves.
About me. Well, I'm the wife of the knife maker, or the woody and knife maker, and the person that polishes things and does. But I've actually started making my own knife. Who's rattling?
Who's rattling?
Oh, it's fucking
Jamie, is that you?
Sorry.
Stop shifting through.
Jamie, for crying out loud, mate. Stop trying to get your bloody port out of that bloody barrel, mate.
Attention seeking. Look at you.
Well, you could have my mead, but you don't want it. Like I've got my beautiful mead, but anyway, I'm not flogging it. Sorry.
There's one problem with your situation there, Dino. You need to send it to me for me to have it. So I'll drink it. It could be dirty water with alcohol in it, and I'll drink it. You know what I'm like.
No.
It's from South Australia. It is dirty water with alcohol.
Shut up, Kevin. You're an idiot because you idiot. Because I'm telling you right now. Stop it. Stop. I can't do it. No, I need a hug now because I'm getting all pheromone. No, seriously, my mead is awesome. Kieran Swift keeps on drinking it by the gallons, and everyone wants it.
We'll be the judge of that. You got to send it up, and we'll have it. We'll check it. We'll give it a fair review.
Okay. Here it is. I slap your face, sir, and here's a gauntlet. Pieces of dawn. I will send you all for a pubcast. I will send you my mead, and if you don't give me nice remarks, then I'll have to. Probably cry because apparently I've got pheromone and stuff.
That's all right. Just don't.
I'll send you some booze, and you guys tell me what you think.
I just had a thought, Dino, and it's got nothing to do with what you were just talking about. Dino, when the shirt didn't fit, why didn't you just have another hamburger? Because that would do two things. That would mean you'll fit in a 5XL, and your ring won't come flying off all the time.
Mate, you're dead set wanker. And it was my finger, not the shirt, you idiot. And I was trying to be smart and laughy and army, because the army thing with me and stuff. And it was a very embarrassing moment in my life, but still, it was so funny. It was
funny. Show us the ring. Show everyone the culprit. Tungsten death ring.
Oh, you want to see it?
Where is it?
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm
gonna one that's on your finger.
That's a different live feed, mate. If you're looking for someone's ring, just remember that.
So let's go back to the intro that we were just having before. The camera going this way. This way.
I'm walking inside to get the ring.
All right. Well, we're going to listen to Julianne.
Yeah, do that, and I'll go and do that. Yeah, do that.
Good. You do that. Julianne, so tell us a bit about yourself. So you're making a knife.
So I'm making a knife, but it's a stock removal knife. Originally, we were going to make. Doug was actually going to make me just a little knife that I have in my kitchen that I particularly like, but I don't like that it's only a shitty $15 ex-Kmarty type job. And then because we're Victorians and we're deemed unclean, there's no trip to the forge for us for a little while. Yeah. So we'll stay home and we'll do some. Anyway, we're talking about stuff the other day, and I said, well, how about while we're just playing around, and there's bits and bobs, we were just working on some stuff in our shed, that how about I make this, and so instead of just doing the whole forge thing, I'll do a cut and deal with. And so it's now partially cut out. Oh, well, it's cut out and it's partially sanded. Oh, pretty.
Pretty devastating.
And with that, Dino, I'm moving you on. Next person's in. Have a good one, Dino. Thanks for all your support every week.
See you, Dino.
Good luck with your shirt sales. Have a good one, Sarge. See you, brother. Is you all right? Going to say goodbye, or are we just going to watch you do a mime?
Don't throw me to the lines. Don't throw me away.
We're not, mate. We're throwing you
We're not. We're just moving you on. So someone else can get in because you're at the top of the tree. Have a good one, brother.
Oh, okay, okay. Throw me down there.
Yeah, right.
See you, Dino. Right. Have a good one, brother. Take care, mate. All the best, brother. There we go.
So now I've got a knife partially sanded and it's got to go and get heat treated, and we'll go from there. So,
nice.
But I'll get there. So when I finish, I've got some mosaic pins that I picked up from Corin when I saw him at the knife show down here, and I'll put them in. And my ex-shitty knife will get put in the do not use bin. And oh no, I actually might keep it just as a blank because I actually want to make another one of them. So I'll just use it as my template. And yeah, well, that's what I'm up to at the moment. And apparently he's going to daub on me and show pictures, but I'm okay. So
I made a knife once, Julianne.
Yeah, I know. I heard that.
You have no shame.
Milk it for everything it's worth, brother.
Oh mate, when you make one a year,
mate, if it was a cow, Corin would be
I'm not far behind you, dude.
Milk it that much.
One of the things about making a knife is you always think about the next one.
To be proud
What's
of
the next one?
Magazine, mate.
This is very true.
Corin thinks about the next one for like 12 months.
I actually, the next one, no, I've got it all sussed. The next one is Damascus and for the butt and for the blade made by Jackson Rumble, who donated it to the cause. So I'm going to make something with it. And I'll probably go with silver fittings again because silver's all class.
Silver's nice. Yeah, silver's good.
Yeah. So
it looks
what about you, Kev? What's your plan for next?
Definitely.
My next one.
Yeah.
I got a lot of orders at the moment. So
yep.
They're what's coming through.
The
next order that I'm hoping to get out of the way, or the very soon, is actually a decent 11-inch ladder Damascus Bowie, about 200 layer ladder Damascus Bowie with an antler handle and classic sort of brass fittings and stuff. So that's the next one that I'm on the way to. And then I've just got a sort of a bit of a range of kind of standard orders, which is nice. Mm-hmm. Standard sort of hunters and stuff, which is good. But the next knife I want to make sort of, I always say I'll make it for myself, but then I end up selling them. The next one I want to finish for myself is one of the many liner lock folders that I've started but never finished. And I just saw a post up on Instagram from Barry Kennedy, who finished a knife liner lock folder that he did over with Bill Burke and Rick Dunkley. And mine was a year before that, and I still haven't finished it. So no hurry with these things, it'll get there.
Yeah, you call it the pile of shame,
or you could finish a barrel knife.
Yeah,
I've got barrel knives. I've got to go up to Corins and help finish the barrel knife.
Yep.
I'm not likely to get up there and do a bloody swinging act on trapeze act on the anvil like Sausage Man did, though.
All right, I've got a photo of Jules' knife.
hilarious.
I've got to put it on. Just
Oh, we've got a photo.
yeah, just
Yeah.
give me a minute. Keep talking. I'll just run around, plug some cords in so I can get it.
And who else
what's
did you
your next
throw in?
one?
Down that way. That way.
Huh? You looking at me?
The cameras are making me look retarded. Well, worse than I am. I was just saying, who did you invite in? I can't see the names.
Owen Ward.
Oh,
I made sure I went and got some milk.
yeah. Well,
Nah.
if you're drinking the same milk that Timmy Ford's drinking, then you think we're all good-looking men.
Well, there must be some power in that milk, eh?
Oh, I bet ya.
Hey, Kev,
He's-
you know. We're going.
Oh, sausage! Come on, mate.
What's it? Oh, you finished one sausage.
Ooh.
I did.
about that?
I did. It's even sharp now.
Oh, well done,
Yeah.
son.
I don't have a barrel knife, but I've got a beard comb. Where's your beard comb, Jamie?
Hey,
What's
Jamie,
that?
Did you enter
shows
it in the? Did you enter it in the 4-hour challenge?
What, the
There
barrel
you go.
knife?
Yeah, in the 4-hour challenge.
No, you got to make it in 4 hours, mate. We're not
Hey,
6
Dave.
months.
There's Julie's knife, everyone. There
Nice
she is,
one.
and it looks like a nice little well,
Hey,
it's
wicked
shrunk
job.
Santuco or something, isn't it? Sort of. You got your hand over it, can't
Kitchen
really see it, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Julianne, well done, looking great. There we go. I got to figure out how to stop that now. Just bear with me. All right, there we go. Technology. Here it is.
Here we go.
Oh, I didn't need to do that. She's got it right
you
there.
didn't even need to do it. She's got it there. That's awesome. Look at that thing going.
Look at that. That looks awesome. It's far better than my first knife. I've got it here if you want to have a look.
Is it a barrel knife?
No. No.
Did it get in Blade magazine?
No.
No, don't worry about it.
Find some
And
better
then
luck sitting in the dungeon.
Oh, what's this? What's that one?
Okay, hang on.
Is that
Yeah.
like an arrowhead thing?
Thrower?
No. It's a marking tool for making tools. For making bits.
Ah, it's like a double-edged
Oh,
kiridashi.
Hang on.
It's like a double-edged kiridashi.
You're
Yeah.
having as much luck with the camera that I normally do.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
all right. We got a guy in the lobby. No, Julie, you stay there. Bart, we're going to move you on. Bart, you have a
Catch
good
up.
one, mate. Thank you for
You
joining
too.
us.
Hey,
Thanks
Bart.
for your support, mate. You have a good
Cheers,
one, mate.
mate.
Thanks for introducing yourself. Love to see some pictures of your work. Get some stuff up on the
Yeah,
Knife
get some
Making
stuff up.
Down Under
Come
group.
on.
Post up some pictures. Show us what you do, brother. And
Cheers.
everyone follow Bart and have a look at his work.
will do.
There we go.
Awesome.
All right. Now the next guest slipping in is Angry and a Wombat.
Oh, we don't have
Oh,
names on that, do we?
Look at that.
You've been
Yeah.
lurking,
Nice.
mate. Oh, hang on. What's you got there? What's your T-shirt?
Yeah, get it in there. Show us.
Come on.
Forge Masters. That's a tribute
Yeah.
to one of the friends of the long time contributor to the blacksmiths in Australia, and that's Phil Johnson from up at Newcastle. We'll let Troy handle that one and tell you all about Phil,
Yeah, look.
who recently
Troy
passed away.
will get his moment in a second. Let's go back to Owen. Owen, tell people a little bit about yourself, mate.
Oh, I'm a bloody immigrant. One of the token Canadians, actually.
Oh, he's Canadian, eh?
Hey, hey.
He's from Canada.
Canada.
Yeah,
He's one of our
I am
Canadian
indeed.
listeners.
Indeed. Yeah, living down in Victoria. I've been in Australia for 15, 16 years now. Got into knife making about 3 years ago. Just dabbled a little bit, and look, I'm still dabbling. I had every intention of having all the time in the world to make knives, and it was going to be the greatest thing in the world. But running two businesses doesn't give me a whole lot of free time to play knives. So I do it when I
I
can.
don't know. You've only been here 16 years, and no one might have told you, but living south of that border, as you do down in Victoria. It's kind of like living south of the Canadian border. I don't know if anyone's mentioned that to you. It comes with the same stigma and coronavirus statistics.
Oh, come on. Living in Canada at the moment, it's kind of like living in the apartment above a meth lab.
Oh, really? yeah, I get it now. Anyway, hi,
I just wish we were up
American.
north at the moment, actually.
Yeah, Queensland's looking pretty good, but anyway.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm leaning on a stack of red gum just to get warm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, nice.
So, Julie, you're Victorian as well. You guys staying south? Have you got any coronavirus impact where you are, or are you guys like coronavirus denialists?
No, we're there's a whole heap of new cases around our area where we live out at Wyndham, and there's a lot of new cases have popped up. I don't know whether they've been hidden or what it was, but all of a sudden we've got 100 and something cases that have popped up in our area in the past 2 weeks. So I think they've been floating around and keeping them under tabs. I work at home, which is really good because I used to work in the city, and I haven't been on public transport since March, so I'm really happy about that. And it gives me time that I can actually I quilt and sew and things like that as well. So I can walk from my office and come back and do stuff at home. So it makes things so much easier and I can get a lot more shit done. So that helps.
Yeah. The commute when you work from home is pretty good.
Roll out of bed and roll in the office, yeah.
Yeah. I've got about 15 metres to my workshop. Hardest part of that is there's about 6 stairs up, and that's a killer.
Like falling up the stairs.
Yeah, there's always a traffic jam at there. The dogs get up in front of me, and I've got to pat the dogs on the way to the workshop. And it holds me up every morning.
Oh. It's like,
yell at them, get out of my way, you really fucking cabbages.
I'm actually quite glad that working from home, and it doesn't look like we'll be back in our office, if at all, by probably Christmas time. But at the moment, we'll just keep it how it is and just be safe because there's just too many cases floating around at the moment.
And what businesses, if you're happy to say, what businesses do you run and how does it affect you?
Well, to be honest, it's actually done us a world of good.
Yeah, right.
Our first
You're
business
plumber.
we've been in.
Are you a plumber? You have to clean out all that toilet paper.
Not far, mate. Wife and I run a commercial cleaning company.
All right, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
someone's on the money.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we've actually had to put people on and not lay people off, which is fantastic. Exactly, make hay while the sun shines, they say. And the other gig we do is we repair and sell caravans as well, and that's kind of going through the roof at the moment too.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, loving it. And I kind of turned our factory into like a bit of a man cave, bit of a Bunnings Picton kind of setup. We even threw a bedroom in there. We got the offices upstairs in the mezzo, and we do all our work and storage and stuff downstairs. And I set up a little area with my hoist for my car addiction, and it's kind of turned into my forge and knife making place. So yeah, just
that's a real shed.
All I want to do is there.
Yeah, nice. That's good. What about you, bloody angry wombat? What are you doing?
Come on, people don't know him. We better introduce him.
Everyone on the comments is saying it looks like bloody Corin's long lost brother.
Are they? That's nice.
Corin's twin. Is that Corin's brother? You guys look like brothers.
I might have to bail out, guys. I've got about 2% battery. I'll go and jump on the laptop and watch the comments.
Thank you for joining us. Thanks for your support every week. And we look forward to seeing you next week, mate. Have a good one, buddy.
No problem. Take care, guys. Cheers.
See you, mate.
Now, Troy, all that says when people say you look like Corin is that you need to have a fucking shave and brush your hair, mate. Come on.
I did have a shave. I had a bit of a mix-up with the clippers.
Did you hear that?
What?
Troy
Yeah,
Hagen.
but
He
Sorry.
was just calling
Oh.
me. What were you doing calling me?
So in my phone,
Oh dear.
Troy is Troy Hageman, knife
What
bloke,
happened? There we are.
and that dates back
yeah,
to
so-
about 2011 or something, Troy, when we first met.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, we met a long time ago. We met I think it was about 2011 when we did a hammering.
Yeah,
And
we had a
then
hammering at my place. And Troy, you tell them a bit about yourself. You come from an industrial blacksmithing background.
yeah, I worked for 9.5, nearly 10 years. We did all our springs, making truck and car springs. So I learned how to beat hot steel there, which is held in good stead for the current nickname that I'm currently running with, or that I was given.
What's that?
But yeah,
Wombat, Angry Wombat, or something else.
Yeah, Angry Wombat, Combat Wombat, whatever it happens to be.
Combat
at the
Wombat.
time that it's being yelled at me. You like playing with big hammers is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I was telling a story.
Jamie, that wasn't me. Keep going.
I was actually just telling a story to Matt Snape and his son when they were down, mate, because they were talking about me making stuff.
Click on my pen thing and talk as me, couldn't I?
have you got a link as well?
Oh, hang on. Let's get the bloody argument.
Okay.
I might just click on it and see what happens.
You've heard it here first, folks.
All right, Julianne.
I'll be back. Bye.
What?
All right.
Take care.
Yeah.
Hey, Julianne, thanks for all your support every week, and all the best to you and your husband during this difficult time. Stay
Yeah,
safe.
will do. Yeah, you
Stay
too.
safe.
See you, boys.
Thank you, mate.
All right.
Yeah,
there you go.
Troy, I was just
Sit
saying,
down,
I was telling Matt Snape and his son about you because they were talking about making stuff. I said, no, I'm a knife maker. I don't make shit. I said, actually, there's the first and only hammer that I've made. It was meant to be a 2-pound dog's head and ended up being a 5-pound sledge. That was the one which I made up at Ironfest last year.
Oh yeah, that's the one we quenched in the bucket.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
It goes well.
That's a bit of spring.
Yeah, it was just a big block of spring that when we upset it, it turned out bigger than 2 pound. But it goes all right. I use it every now and then for big things, but not often because it's just too fucking big.
And next time we'll make you a bigger one. We'll get it up around 32 kilos.
Yeah, I'm broken. I can't lift that fucking thing. I'm not worth it.
Sausage man can.
Bullshit.
Yes, I can.
When was it on film?
He's got the
Yes, it
t-shirt.
is.
It is on camera.
Don't know about
But yeah,
that.
Sausage Man and I drove a different hammer on the weekend.
Yeah,
You
tell
what?
us about that. Tell us
Oh
about that.
yeah. Saw some
It
video.
was quite interesting. I drove it on the Sunday afternoon after Sausage Man left, and Matt was driving. Matt's actually very good at driving the steam hammer, and we started blocking up a chunk of steel, and then Daryl and the boys started giggling at me because I was yelling at Matt how hard I wanted to be hit, and a lot of fun. Needs a little bit of work. She's a bit leaky right now, but I'm sure Daryl's going to get that thing fixed in no time. But definitely, it's a totally
So
different
just for our listeners' benefit, what you're talking about is a steam hammer that's just been installed. Well, it hasn't just been installed; it's been installed for years at Yass Valley Steam Forge under the care of a man by the name of Monster.
Yeah, that's right. He's been installing it now for probably about 5 years, I believe. He's had the hole in the ground. And it's been a while, but it's not a little thing, and it's got a lot of pieces. And the last couple of weeks, he was plumbing in the steam, and we had a guy, Rob Smithers, come down and run the boiler, and it was running the boiler about 90 to 100 psi, and it was a little bit violent at that sort of pressure. 50
terrifying is the word.
Yeah,
terrifying.
Terrifying. Like, am I going to lose my life when this thing comes down?
I have the burns to prove it.
So where can people see videos of this?
Jamie's got a few videos up there, buddy.
Yeah, they're up on my Facebook. I might flick a couple across onto the Knife Making Down Under Facebook group.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, it's what was it? It was a 1904 steam hammer.
It's a 300 weight auto treadling steam hammer, but you can turn off the auto treadle and drive it manually, which is the preferred way of driving it, because the auto treadle's just it's just like a massive stamping machine that you know, you don't have a lot of control over.
Right,
But
it's crazy.
It is.
Like being under the 7 at Everleigh is like, that's a massive, 350 kilos of drop weight on that thing.
Yeah.
Plus the pneumatic drive. The 300-weight steam hammer is 100 times more terrifying. Plus, because it's leaking steam, the water's just like jacketing off the scale, which then you get hot steam and scale straight at your face. If you weren't wearing safety glasses, it'd be all over. It's just
It's a hot wet mess.
I was looking at some of those clips, and I bet your monster was wishing he had a bit more hair up top on some of that. That fucking steam just like
Matt jumped under it when it was at 90 psi, and the first time it hit, it had a whole bunch of water on the bottom anvil, so it did the classic explosion when it went off and just showered him in hot water and scale and snot.
There's a video of that. I've got in real close, crouched down to get the shot of him hitting it.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the next thing you see the camera get half thrown across the room because I was on fire and I'm jumping out the road.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think, I don't know, but I think it's one of the only privately run steam hammers going right now. Well, sort of going, but I mean, it's still definitely hit.
It'd have to be the only privately run one. I think there is a couple down in Victoria running in a factory that are still run. They're still run, but wow, what a mission as well! Like, he pulled that hammer out of a paddock, and out of a field, to our international listeners, and what a mission to get it going. It's been working on it with, and so you're talking mentioned a few names there people might not know. You said Matt. That would be Matt Newburn from Everleigh Works.
Yeah, that's right.
Obviously Sausage Man and Daryl, who's Monster.
Other people may have heard Matty's pseudonym, which is Matty Spewbum.
Matty Spewbum. Nice.
Yep.
But I got to say that it's only a 300 weight hammer, that steam hammer, that it's got to hit closer to a 500, if not more, because when it comes down, it doesn't come down and want to go back up. It waits until the lever's been pulled up. So it's like a steam operated press, but it's quite violent in the way that it executes the blows.
I think the maths was that the steam expands 3,000 times on its volume. So when you've got that small amount in the top chamber above the top, and then it expands. So it's not just pushing down, it's slamming it down. Like I said, terrifying.
It didn't look like it had a lot of control.
It does, because you can adjust that hand lever so that if you want half an inch before it hits the bottom anvil, it'll sit that and it won't go any further down. You've got ultimate control in that regard, but it's just it's coming down.
I just saw your comment, Matt. There you go, mate. See you, mate.
Hey, Matt. Yeah, there you go. Get rid of him.
Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Keep going.
Yeah. No, it's it just flies. It's got a lot of tweaking that you can do, and plus, so if you want to put something out to half inch, you just set it to that, and then put the auto function on, and it just keeps slamming to that depth every time.
What that hammer does?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hammer's got an auto treadle. So it's got a rod connected to the base of the hammer, to the base of the head of the hammer, and the rod moves up and down, and as it moves up and down, it rocks a shaft, and that shaft then controls the valve, the gear above. So it depends how much you control on the side, it depends how hard you can make it hit. So you can put it in auto treadle, so it's basically just not missing the block, jam something under it, and it's just going to keep stamping away.
You just got to get the steel in there quickly before it flies out of your hand.
That's what I meant by the violent. Like, it just looks out of control. Watching it was just like, oh shit.
Just a couple of times there where I was a bit freaked out, but it was all good. Monster was driving, he just stopped, and it had gripped the steel, and I could reset the tongs and go again. Like,
but especially seeing the people that were using it on those clips are pretty experienced using power hammers.
Yeah,
that was the thing. If you knew who you were looking at on that power hammer and the reactions of the people around it while it was chugging along, then you're like, oh fuck, okay.
Yeah.
But it's something different too. You got steam going everywhere. Half the time, the the steam's not supposed to be there. It's got leaks. So
Yeah.
you'd be forging and all of a sudden your safety glasses like fog up. You can't see what you're doing. You're like, hey, stop, because I don't know what's going on. You know, like you're under a
it's
power
like
hammer. That's one of those times you need to know what you're doing.
Swedish forging sauna.
Exactly. It was great fun. So we nicknamed it the hot mess, you know, because that's what's going on.
Go.
So.
Watch Troy's square.
So that's Monster Forging with Maddie on the. Is that Monster? Yeah, Monster Forging.
Monster driving
Maddie.
and Maddie driving. Maddie's really good at driving it. Actually, he's got excellent control. He hardly ever hit the top, because you can run it into the top very, very easily.
Yeah, right.
So tell us, why is it leaking? A stuffing box issue or gasketing or?
It's gasketing because the old gaskets are lead and asbestos, all of the good stuff.
Oh.
And so, which he's trying to find a substance that's going to do an appropriate job without being lead and asbestos. So at the moment, he doesn't have any. He's tried about 3 different things, and it's not working. So I think the next job's gasket paper, and then we're talking about going copper gaskets. You know, like the turbo guys do with their Ricer cars. So
copper would be the go, and anneal it really, really well. And the
problem with copper is he's got to dismantle the entire top end of the hammer to get the copper gasket in, and so and that'll defeat the purpose if there's a cut in it. So he's trying to do that as a last resort.
Yeah,
when you can
he's
just
experienced,
get a
man.
tube
He knows what he's doing. So,
Oh, for sure, but anyone like the instruction manual for that hammer, which he's got, it's got one line that says "install steam hammer." That's the installation instructions. it's just relying on the tradesman.
Was it written by Shakespeare? Because it looks like it was about that old.
Yeah, well, probably. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because there was no instructions for the foundations underneath it, so Darryl put in the foundations for a 500 weight matching.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Yeah, right.
So there's a big hole underneath. There's a lot of timber underneath the main anvil. There's a whole lot of stuff, but we ran it all the way down to 30 psi, and it got a lot softer and a lot slower. More like, I would say, more like the Everly hammer. It doesn't move anywhere near as quick, but the more pressure you run in it, and I think it'll run up to. I think Darryl said it'll run up to 90, 100 or more. But look, it's incredibly violent at that.
Oh, he said 120, but he said that's lunatic status.
Yeah, Phil Johnson said don't run at anything above 90 because you're going to kill people. Because he said the hammer will go up that fast, it'll just keep going and put itself in orbit.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'd be keen to watch, but from a distance.
Yeah, from a distance.
Well, there was a little arm on the actual handle that the hammer actually comes up and hit. Now that's been cut off, and that was cut off for a reason, because when the hammer had come up, it had hit it, and it would pull the lever down. If you're hanging onto that lever, it would pull it out of your hand. So a lot of guys used to have all sorts of injuries when you used to start driving them, that it could break your arm or break your fingers or dislocate your wrist. And so Darryl's one's been removed, so it's quite a beast to drive in a way that you can drive it up too hard and run it into the top.
I think that's something that a lot of people don't take into account when they're using those massive hammers. Well, they see people using them was, like I said, even holding the tongs in the wrong spot, and you run that gauntlet of, tearing open your leg or something, and it's not the same. It's not the same game as using a 40 or 100 kilo anyang. It's actually in the realm of you really know what you need to know what you're doing.
Well, Phil Marks wore a pair of tongs in the face under Jimmy's hammer.
Smashed the tooth. Yeah.
Smashed the tooth.
And that was a 75 kilo. That was a 75 kilo.
Yeah.
So
and it
totally
was
different class.
Over and done with before he knew what had happened. He turned around and had a blank look on his face, and
and a tooth missing.
Well, I just said to him, I said, "There's nothing leaking out of your head, mate. You're in a good spot."
Yeah.
Speaking of danger and that, you remember that probably the second or third hammer in we ran, where that fella came and had an epileptic fit between a very crude anvil stand. No offense, Troy boy.
Oh, look, mate, it worked.
and my forge. and that wasn't the place to have an epileptic fit. So
No,
Yeah.
no, it definitely wasn't. I still remember the day quite vividly. It definitely happened very fast. And
well, the way I remember it, I went, "Holy fuck, that's no fucking good. What are we going to do?" And you were like, I turned around, you're there with a first aid kit, mop and bucket, calling the ambulance, sorting everything out. Fucking, I'm just standing there going, anyway, good on you. But anyway.
Yep. At least if it was in the river or a pool, you could throw your washing in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, he had a lot of the red stuff leaking out, Kev.
Oh, yeah. It's not pretty.
No, it's just being inappropriate, as always.
So,
who's this?
Nah, Troy.
This is the interloper.
Troy's been around for a long time now. He makes awesome forged knives. It's what he's famous for. I mean, he's not the best, obviously, because his apprentice has now topped him off.
He's the fastest.
Yeah, he is still the fastest, though. So,
funny thing is, I told him to go in that competition over and over. He goes, "No, I don't want to do it. Don't want to do it." I said, "Look, just bloody enter a knife." I said, "I can guarantee you'll probably bloody win it."
I'll guarantee you'll probably win it. I love your attitude, Troy. It's never any different. So yeah, Troy came to Ironfest with Gamaco for years. We did demos and whatnot, and basically been a great friend for 10 years. So yeah, it's good to see you here tonight, Troy. Thanks for jumping in, mate.
No worries, mate.
No worries. And you're going to have a table up. You were I haven't kicked him yet. Tell me, you were going to have a table at Blade this year.
I was, yes. But,
so
you know,
are you going? You're not going over now, then, I guess.
No. I kind of got my money back on that one quick, smart, in a hurry. I thought, no travel insurance, no nothing. We had our flights booked. We had a table paid for. We had everything in line. I just needed to make a couple of hundred knives, which is probably only a weekend's worth. But And for people who think he's exaggerating, he's not.
Troy can knock out a knife in probably under 10 minutes. Troy, 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, it was 15 minutes. I knocked out a knife in the last comp room, wasn't it?
Something like that. And I'm not talking.
I was there. I saw that one.
I was in that comp. I was up against you.
Me too.
You cut your end off.
I made a fire striker and a knife. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I knew I didn't have it in me to make a big knife in 15 minutes. So I cut my piece of steel in half and made a small knife and a fire striker. So there you go.
I think I was the only person in that comp to put their touch mark in, wasn't I?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sure. But it was
and I got a normalising sight to win.
And you have been judged by Kevin Cashin as the best knife maker at a symposium. Was it Cashin that year? It was Cashin.
Yeah,
it was Cashin. Yeah,
100%. Yep.
So hey, that's all street cred there, matey.
Still making the same bloody knives though.
Yeah, well, whatever. So am I. Actually, Troy's got one of my barrel knives somewhere. Oh, if he still has it.
Yeah, I lent it to young Will, and he still got it because he wants to copy it. So he reckons he's giving it back to me, but I can't find it.
Right.
He's got it.
Well,
I'm going to see him tomorrow. Don't worry.
You need a bigger hammer to hit him.
Oh no, I've got my little hammer. Does anybody ever recognise one of these guys?
That's a little ball peen. Oh no, hang on, that's a wrench.
Crowbar.
What have you done?
That's a ball peen.
Yeah.
But it's got like a crowbar on the end.
Nice. That's my kind of hammer.
I can't find any information on it anywhere.
Hey, have you asked Graham?
It's a wrecking bar hammer. Jamie would like that.
Have you asked Graham?
No. I found one photo online and all it said was auto hammer and that's it.
Go ask Graham.
You're talking about Graham Askew, the Anvil Whisperer.
Graham Askew. That's it. I've been struggling with the last name that whole time. Graham Askew is the old tool guy, and he'll probably have a catalogue with it in it.
Probably, yeah. I should ask him actually, because I've asked a few people. I showed Matty Newburn, and he reckons he's seen one. And I said to him, I can't figure out what the bloody hell it'd be used for, because it would have been made for purpose.
Yeah, for sure. So we've just had Douglas join us. So we'll give a quick intro. Douglas, you're a mate of Dean Hamilton's and Forge Through champion. Is that correct? Am I got you right, mate?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Can you guys hear me? Is my microphone working?
Yep, we got you,
Yep.
mate.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
fantastic. Yeah, I did 20 years in the army, quite a long time before I got involved with Forge Through. But I was actually on the first actual course that he ran with participants off the street, so to speak, and that was 3 years ago now. And been up there a couple of times since then, once to mentor and once to help him build the smithy, that sort of thing. It's a really good organisation he's got going there. He's doing a lot of good for a lot of people, and I like to help him wherever I can and that sort of thing. And yeah, so that's sort of how I got involved with the knife making stuff, was through that. I'm a keen woodworker, and I was looking at making some of my own tools, because there's lots of tools that they used to use in the old days you just can't get now. And if you can get them, they're either so crappy that you can't use them, or they want a fortune for them. And so I thought I'd make a few of my own. Then, of course, that leads into making blades for woodworking tools, and I started looking around to learn how to heat treat and temper a blade. And well, they had a local blacksmithing group down here in Melbourne, down at Footscray, that has a bit of a festival once every 2 years. So I went down to that and started talking to the smiths about hardening and tempering steel. And they're all ornamental blacksmiths, so their eyes glazed over and they rolled back in their head. And they just looked at me sort of funny. And I thought, okay, well, it's not going to get any help here. And later on, a couple of days later, Julie was playing around on the internet and she found the Forge Through program. So she got interested in that, thought it might be exactly the thing I needed. So yeah, she made a few inquiries, and next thing you know, they said, well, can you be up here in 2 weeks? And I said, bloody hell, that's a bit quick. We've got to go 9 hours up the road. And off we went, and and just haven't looked back since. It's a really good program and done a lot for me. And it really looks after the people who've got mental health issues from their service and that sort of thing, which just about anybody who's done 20 years in the military will do. And he's got being from a police and military background himself, he's also got the other side of the thing in there. He's got the police and the fireys and the ambos come through the course as well. He sort of tries to mix it up a bit and put a couple from different backgrounds on the same one, not same course together. And most of the guys on there now have got to think twice. It won't work out whether they were in the military or in the police or whatever, because this makes no difference to us all. It's just, we're all brothers of the Forge, and that's sort of how it all works out.
Yeah, no, it's a bloody great thing he's got going on there. And for those that don't know anything about it, we had an interview with Dean maybe a couple of months ago, probably 5 or 6 episodes ago
now. Yep.
Definitely worth going back, checking that out. And I sent you, was it you that I sent the poster to, Doug?
Yeah, I've got that poster. So I was supposed to be going up to mentor a course in September, but because we're regarded as lepers up that way now, I've got I can't get up there now. But yeah. So I've still got that here. I was going to take it up in September, but if we're all clear, he runs a fishing competition as well for the Forge Through participants once a year in December, which is a really great thing. He's a keen fisherman, and he's got all his mates that fish in the Australian Championships, get their boats there and take a veteran or two out each and teach us how to fish, and we have a great old day and have a few prizes. And I just get together and meet a few other people, and that's really great. So if I got to finish up being able to go up there this year because of all the trouble. We had enough trouble last year with the bushfires and things that went through, and actually the bushfire went right through Hamo's place on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. He had to struggle to fight to save his forge and his house, all that sort of stuff from the bushfires when they were going through around Bateman's Bay Way there. So
yeah, that was something else. And if you follow his page, and I suggest the listeners do that, go and find Dean Hamilton, Forge Through. You'll find Dean's put in a lot of effort to. He's actually got some good posts there about the bushfires, and including many weeks after the fire had gone out, the trees still burning, like the insides of the trees still burning. So pretty interesting.
They were chopping down trees that were on fire just to put them out.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. Well, we've been going now, Kev. We're coming on to an hour and a half. That was kind of our plan. What do you want to do, brother? We haven't really heard from Jamie. He's just been sitting there like Gimli in the corner.
Jamie's just been sitting there like the bloody subterranean dweller that he is, looking at everyone around him. It's good though.
Yeah, well.
What have you been up to, Jamie?
Chocolate balls out.
Screw
mate. Well,
don't listen to the chocolate eating freak. Come on.
Well, as you heard, went down to Yass Valley Steam Forge. I got a call on Wednesday saying, "Hey, we think it might be on this weekend," and sort of pulled stuff together. I still haven't got a car that's going, so I had to hitch a ride. So, but,
right.
Yeah, it was good fun.
So you lost your vehicle in the floods, didn't you? So what happened to the patrol?
Yeah,
I see that. I'm trying to find where his post is.
basically.
What was that? Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's. I think it's cracked the ring. It's pushing oil out to stick, so it's a bit harsh. So yeah.
So it's fun.
So and quotes of up to 14 grand for a new motor, and and I'm like, I don't know if the car's worth that much. So.
That's
So
similar situation to why I had to go and get a second car recently.
Was yours an Nissan too, Kev?
No, but just a similar situation with a quote that came back, and you're like, yeah, I don't think the car's worth enough to fucking get that much money to fix it.
Must have been a Toyota then.
We just bought it.
Mini.
Our Toyota just did the same thing. Engine problems. 400,000 on the clock, so it's probably all right.
400,000's all right.
Yeah, I'm not unhappy.
G'day, fellas.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got Tim on.
That's where the patrol was up to. So.
Hey.
Tim, you live in Hong Kong, don't you?
Nah, I live in Narrandera, so it's about 100 k's northwest of the border.
Fucking Hong Kong.
Close. You're obviously confusing with someone else.
Where the hell did you get that from?
There's someone floating around that's in Hong Kong. Don't worry, it's not him.
No.
Yeah, that's bloody, that's Pointy HK, Dave.
Yeah. Anyway, that's okay.
So Narrandera, it's pretty close to Hong Kong.
Mate, it's all breaking up for mine, mate.
What was that?
Done? Oh, it's just gone to shit. What have we done?
No, it's going right now.
I don't
know.
Sausage Man was just interrupted.
But, so
I've been gradually sobering up for 2 hours.
I guess Nice one. So forging on the weekend with the steam hammer. Did a bit of forging today. I got an order for some skewers, so forging those up out of some 6mm square bar. So that was a bit of fun. Build up a jig for that, and just the 4-hour forging comp. 2 weekends ago, that was a bit of fun.
That was good fun.
Just almost got my workshop finished. Like I've got all the lights up now. Got all my gear up. Like I've got a mezzanine that I've built in there, so I've got all my woodworking gear upstairs now. So I've got stairs. I'm not climbing a ladder anymore. So yeah,
that'll help.
I think the caravan, the old camping egg, it's in paint, so I should be getting that back in the next week or so.
All you need is a vehicle to tow it with now, mate.
Yeah, well, I've got a Mrs.'s car and stuff too. So we lost everything in that flood. Like everything's had problems. So Mrs.'s new car's coming next week.
Jamie, you need to look at Owen Ward's little post there, mate. That's up on the screen at the moment. And patrols are his thing. So you need to get in touch with Owen, mate, and see if you can smuggle something across the border.
He's down south, and I can't get to Guardian there.
I know.
That's right. We think it might be a cracked ring, and so it's probably going to be in the realm of $1,000, not 14 grand. But I'm going to have to do most of the work myself. I had the engine rebuilt, and it was about 20,000 k's ago, but that was 8 years, so it's out of warranty. But it's only 20,000, and it's just shit itself. So,
Only just out of warranty.
I'm a bit disappointed. What's that?
Handsacker's familiar with cracked rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, well, see, that's the thing about that whole ring thing is I didn't see the violation. I just felt the glass raining down on my head. So that was great fun.
I just got the phone call. Coming back from the restaurant. Oh,
Yeah.
g'day. Don't come back to your room. Okay. What am I going to do?
Look,
Going to go back to my room, aren't I? But anyway, that's all right. I went in there, and looked like a war game. Ivan.
It was behind me, so I didn't see what happened. But shit, I felt it, mate. I jumped up out of the road pretty quick.
That was. You have to go back in the old episodes if you want to find out about that. But all right, Jamie.
Yeah.
Kev, what do we want to do, mate? We're going to keep going or wrap it up?
Yeah,
we've got to say hello to Tim yet.
We've got our guest from Narrandera Com. We haven't heard much from him yet, so we at least need to hear. We at least need to hear a bit of an intro from Tim before we move on.
Where the fuck's Narrandera?
Yeah, Narrandera.
So Narrandera's little town. I think we got about 3,000 people. 100 k's northwest of Wagga Wagga, inland New South Wales.
You come back down through the inland highway that way, don't you?
We pass the turn-off. We pass the turn-off every year when we go past. When we go to Adelaide, we go past the turn-off to Narrandera, don't we?
It's worth dropping in. We're on the Newell Sturt Highway. We're on the intersection.
How far off the highway are you to go? Like, what sort of a detour on the way to Adelaide?
On the way to Adelaide from Wollongong.
Well, Sydney.
Up from Sydney. Not much of a detour at all, honestly.
Probably only about 6 hours, right?
Depends on the way that you go. Because if you end up on the Newell or the Sturt and you're going through Wagga anyway, we drive to Sydney through Wagga and then we drive to Adelaide directly from here. So you can get on a route. I don't know the other way. We've driven to Adelaide. It's about 10 hours from here, 6 hours to Sydney. So,
look at a map. You're not making any sense. So tell me, you make some knives. What do you make?
Yeah. I've got a couple of kitchen knives out there that I've made myself. Fiddle ass around. I've got a commission at the moment for 3 knife and fork sets with antler handles on them for the local barber. Cheers, Matt. And yeah, I'm just fiddling around, filling in time. I'm a full-time uni student at the moment, so don't have as much free time as I'd like to, but get out and fiddle around.
What are you studying?
Yeah, what are you studying?
I'm studying medical science.
Yeah, right. Nice.
So not what you'd expect.
No.
But a lot of the times I just make out and try and make something silly as quickly as possible. So
like Troy.
That was me, pretty much. That was me just testing out. I tried out the Cubitron belts for the first time the other day, and I'm real happy with how they went.
Yep.
Fiddling around. Barbecue knife for Dad.
There's a little plug.
Yeah. I don't really sell anything. The barber just started chatting to me the other day after he saw my little keychainy thing. Asked if I could make him a couple of things.
Oh,
it turned around all right. It's good fun.
Nice. Looking good. Yeah.
Thanks.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah,
So,
I actually met you, Kev, at the Canberra Knife Show. It was my first one that I came to.
Which one was that?
Okay.
Which year?
This year.
This year. Yeah.
Did I go this year? I think it was me.
I'm really bad with names, but I'm very good with faces. And I'm looking at going, man, you look familiar. And it's not because of the Brady Bunch sort of thing going on here, but
madness. Right.
Look at you chuckling over there. Why? I've got a question for you, Corin. Why is Sausage Man's screen so small compared to the rest of us?
It's on this
on my
shit
phone.
phone. Turn your phone horizontal, Sausage.
Yeah, sausage.
You watch him. He's just going to he'll lie on the couch now.
There you go. That's
that
better. Yeah. But now you can't get his beard in. See, you can't get his beard in.
Oh well.
See? There it is.
Oh, you can.
All better.
Safety
It's all
beard.
there.
You've just
Very good. Well, I think we might even call it a night. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, it's only 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Could do.
It's 10 o'clock. That's Snape. Sometimes you like to meet the people on there. Other times, well, hey Matt.
Who's chiming?
Me.
I think
That's me.
yeah, Corin.
Grandfather's
Corin's clock.
It's like the
Oh.
10 o'clock podcast is over. Thanks very much, everyone, for coming on board.
I don't mind. We can keep going, but I've got to go and find something to
around.
drink. I've run out of port. I've run out of whiskey, and I'm just fucking. It's not working for me.
Just try water.
Go on, fine. Hey,
Bedroom-
Corin,
loves the
Corin,
bedroom
are you into
gin.
that?
Ah, fireball.
Fireball.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Did you buy that by the case, did you?
Orange top.
I bought a couple. They were on. It was cheaper to buy 2 700s than a litre. So
We went through 2 of those on the weekend.
no, I didn't. I had one and knocked the top off this one.
Oh,
See you, Doug.
Hey,
Have a
Doug.
good one, brother.
Hey, Doug, you know you can say that.
Oh, okay.
You're still on camera, mate.
Okay. Last time I spoke, nothing come through the thing though.
Oh,
You
that's
turned
because
us on and off.
Jamie was over talking you. No,
And
Okay.
Troy was eating chocolate.
Troy
coated
was eating
nuts
nuts
and shit.
or something.
We couldn't hear. Sorry, man. we apologise for the angry wombat.
Maltesers. Oh, you're
Yeah,
a
they
He's
man.
teasing us. He's teasing us.
They give us multiple methods of communication, so I
sausage
didn't want to
ball.
interrupt anybody anyway. So there you go.
Good on you, Doug, mate. You have a good
No,
one, mate.
that's
Thanks for
all right,
everything
mate.
you do, and thanks for all your support,
jumping
mate.
on,
We
mate.
really appreciate it, Doug. Thanks very
No
much,
problem.
mate.
Thanks.
We'll see you next week, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Well, I won't.
Well-
Might be Wednesday.
Oh,
we haven't.
Actually,
we're
no,
working
we'll
that
be
out.
here, but it won't be Thursday.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I got plans.
Corin's
Shit to do.
our overlord host. And without Corin, we can't host the podcast, and he's not here next Thursday.
You probably could, but I don't want to relinquish the power. It's all
I know,
about the
you know.
power.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
See-
Well, Corin, see, Julianne. Corin just doesn't want to give up the power of clicking on the conversation posts that he brings up.
Oh,
Yeah, well, that's really important, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what the moderator has on here. He has the power to put up post comments. Like that one. Nice, Doug. See, look at him go.
Right,
He's
Doug.
up there.
All right, mate. You have a good one, Doug. All the best, mate.
Right up. See ya.
Do you fellas go much on vodka? Proper vodka,
mate.
no.
This point in my life.
So my brother's at uni up in Wollongong, and there's a distillery there, Headlands Distillery. They make upmarket vodka, and he got a couple of bottles for free for doing him a favor. Tell you what, usually when you add too much vodka to something, it starts tasting like shit after a point. Because I'm firmly of the belief that vodka exists to make other shit alcoholic rather than actually tasting nice. But it's not bad. It's Seacliff vodka. It's they take grain out from near where I am. I forget exactly, and they take it up to Wollongong and they do it at a distilling there. Turns out real nice. Bit pricey. You can't get it in BWS or anything yet, but they're gonna start soon.
Fair enough. Fair enough. There's a great port. It's called Keeper's Glove at Aldi. It's $4.50.
If you remember back a few podcasts ago or pubcasts ago, Corin was on the Keeper's Glove.
Oh yeah,
I don't think it's a really good advertisement.
I discovered some of that shit. Fuck.
We didn't keep that. That was the episode where we lost the whole episode. I was so fucking.
Oh, fuck, that's right. Yeah. That's probably good luck that we
when
lost
we're
that episode.
The Kraken from the bottle.
Yes.
Corin.
Oh, Stewie,
Corin.
how are you, mate?
Yes.
Stewie's
how'd
on.
you get there?
I finally, 2 hours trying to figure around with this, and it's finished. Yeah.
So, guys, we're just joined by Stuart Townsend. He's been around a long time in the Australian knife industry, a very long time. He's immediate past vice president. Oh no, he's been the vice president for a long time of the guild until a year or two ago, and used to run blade sports up at your place there at Burpengary.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So yeah, got a lovely cattery and a nice missus and a beautiful. He's one of the only people I know that's planted their own forest. Am I allowed to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically turned his property into a sort of temperate, no, not temperate, just a rainforesty type jungle. It's awesome.
About a quarter acre of rainforest.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And it's
Where
really
do you live
cool.
to have a little Where do you have to live? You're in your own little rainforest.
Sorry.
Where do you live to have your own little rainforest?
Oh, Burpengary.
Where's Burpengary for those?
Yeah,
Where's
I've got
that
no
for those that don't know?
Just thinking about it.
It's 40 minutes north of Brisbane, 10 minutes south of Caboolture.
Yeah.
On the
Perfect
highway.
spot for it.
Yeah, beauty.
You're not gonna have a semi-arid desert type garden there.
No. That's, yeah. What's happening with you, Corin?
Mate, I am just working.
Doing your annual knife?
Oh, you've done one already, so I've got to do another one and make
Get
it two.
the
I did
poster.
two last year.
Show
Have you
Stuart
seen
the
this?
poster.
Yeah, look. See?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, Blade.
I just too lazy to get in the shed and make, or actually ring you up and then say, how do I do this?
Well, it's time. The time has come. I've been waiting for Troy Boy to make a barrel knife for a while, but his apprentice is going to beat him to it.
Probably.
Yeah, I've got some
Probably.
Damasteel.
Oh,
it's a worthy project.
So he just let out a secret there.
Yeah,
He's onto it. He's onto it.
Come on,
Well,
boys,
Stuart,
fire up.
if you get one, Stuart, you can almost guarantee that you're going to be in Blade magazine if you get a Damasteel one done.
I'm the odd one out.
Boot him, Corin, quick, get him off the screen.
I got my whole drawer next to me. Wait up.
Yeah, I got some somewhere.
There we go.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's a Fairbairn Sykes, isn't it? That's something after Stuart's name. Huh? No, it's not. All right.
Nah.
It's a handle look
I
like
got
it.
that one. That's me 4-hour challenge one.
She finished up now or what?
You see that?
Yeah. It's all polished up now.
That ended up being about 2 hours.
Peter,
nice.
It's rough as guts.
Just a minute. What are you saying? Just one at a time. Stuart, keep going. 4-hour challenge. Peter something.
C, I think was his name. He's a Chinese doctor.
Yeah.
Hong Yu or something. He did it. He did 2 hours to make a knife.
Ooh.
And that,
nice.
Look at Troy's eyes.
Yeah, Troy's like 2 hours. I can make 8.
Go back in time to that spot just where he said that time. Troy's like, boom.
Yeah. Oh.
Troy's the speed demon of knife making, mate. That's it.
He does it in a demo at Ironfest. The people come and walk past and he has a little bit of off-cut spring, and within 15 minutes he's got a finished knife there showing them. It's unbelievable when it comes to knocking out a forged finished knife. Quick. No handle, obviously. It's forged handle. But yeah, he's got some tricks, old Troy boy.
Yeah, you get it hot and hit it hard.
Yeah, that's it. Keep swinging that friggin' 4-pound hammer.
He's also owner of the famous Thor hammer.
Yeah, Molnir. Beautiful.
I'll go and grab it just so we can.
No, you're going to put a hole in your floor.
No, my table's full of little hole. Wait.
He's going to put he'll do his shoulder in now.
Yeah, that's all right. No bloody workers' comp for this, all right.
So if you go to an event where Troy is at, he'll have the 32-kilo Mjolnir hammer, which has, what is it, Jamie? A 1/2-inch freaking handle or something on it. Look at this.
Yeah, it's three-quarter handle, but the trick is you've got to lift it above your head one-handed. And so as Thor would, heft it above your head, and it's only a dozen or so people that have done it. I think there's a lot of kids that have knocked their toes off with it.
I've actually done it a few times, in spirit.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed being at Ironfest last year when watching all those guys come up and they were like these young fellas and they're like no worries. And then they'd lift it about half a foot off the ground, and you just see their eyes light up, and then look at their mates and drop it on the ground and go, no way. It's a beast of a thing. It's just all over the place.
And it's some mysterious.
Is it just square faces or?
Yeah, they tried to get technical with it, but it was too hard to forge.
Yeah, because it's not steel.
It's not steel. It's like $2,000 worth of Inconel.
No. How much is it, Troy?
It's $400 a kilo, and we got 32 kilos, so it's about just under 13.5 grams worth of Inconel.
cheap as chips brew.
Yeah,
the mathematics there. How many bucks a kilo?
It was $400 a kilo. It is at Bowler Uda Homes. We went and picked up a bar of 4140, just I think it was 60 mil round 4140. Darryl had bought, and we said to the guys there in the evening, he said, "Mate, do you mind if we have a look in your bin?" The guy goes, "Mate, go nuts." So we've pulled up to the bin, and I said to Darryl, "We're going to need a bigger car." Because there was that many offcuts of steel in the bin, that like K245, which is D2, and all of this, and there was just that round chunk of 210 mil round, about 200 mil long, just sitting in the bin, nothing written on it. And I picked it up and said, "Darryl, this is going to make a great mold here. We'll just, we just thought it was a piece of mild steel. It had no numbers on it, and only when we started forging it did Phil Johnson say, "Oh, I've forged that stuff before." We said, "Type this number in and see what it is."
I saw the video of it, and at yellow heat, the 700 weight at Everly was hitting it and making the sound as if it was hitting cold steel.
Yeah. It was
just bang. Oh, it was a horrible, epic.
Yeah, we should have been able to forge that hammer in one heat, all finished, all beautiful and nice, and I think it took 4 or 5 heats, and we barely got a square out of it.
Yeah, and then gave up. Didn't even punch the eye you put.
No, Matt, we put a big punch under the hammer. Matt goes, "Let's knock a thing in it." We gave it one hit, and then the second hit, it bent the 2-inch round punch. And,
awesome.
We gave up at that point and just sat it on the floor, and 2 hours later, we used it as a foot heater. So, interesting.
And the first, not the first, but one of the Moonies events back in the early days, long time ago, 2010 or something. They forged an anvil under Mooney's 1,000-ton press, and at 2 a.m, Andrew O'Connor was there with a 6-pack of sausages, frying them on the anvil that they'd forged. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. So, how you been anyway, Stuart? What's going on in your life, mate? Are you making much?
No, not much at all. No, Linda's finished work.
Retired?
No.
Retired or just COVID finished?
No, just I've got too many jobs around the yard to do.
That's never going to change.
Yeah, but I've got to do some, and I've got like maybe 10 blades heat treated, but I haven't done the handles or anything on that. Just slack and idle, and because there's no shows on, so up until next year, it's not as vital to get some of the knives done. Yeah.
Yes, we're hoping the show scene picks up a little bit.
Yeah, looking forward to that. All right, boys, too much background noise. Cut it out. You've been very unprofessional. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's either Troy or your beard.
Stop going through the fucking drawers, mate. Come on.
I won't deny my beard rubs the thing, so.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Sounds like you're playing it sounds like you're playing a tambourine.
Nice. Is that better?
You just sit there like that, you'll be fine. Yeah, just stay there.
As far as getting lucky with offcuts, back to the big 4140 chunk you got. the Canberra Knife Show, you know how they've got the big offcut buckets, and you can get 10.75 for like $5 a kilo or something for big bits of offcuts. I was looking through the bin right at the end of the day. Everyone else has been through, and I noticed it was T-twist or something on the tang, and I got a little tiny rough forged little Damascus blade. I don't know if it'll show up at all. It's just a real shitty etch. I haven't done much to it, but yeah, I think I paid like $2 for it. I ended up getting a little bit of Damascus, just to make a little paring knife or something out of it.
Little bit of free Damascus, nothing to sneer at. What do you got there, Troy boy?
Went about $2.
That was my first attempt at the Beyond Forging Challenge, but because it's got a riveted thing in here, I got a bit over exuberant with straightening the blade and snapped the rivet off. So,
hold that handle up so people can see it, mate, just to see the work involved in what you've done.
So there's a rivet in through there.
It's X-ray style.
Yeah.
Lynn Ray style handle.
Lynn Ray style, that's the one, yeah.
Yeah, so it's also quite thick this way, so it's nice and rounded, nice and comfortable. I wanted something big and stupid for the forging comp, but nobody picked up how big my knife really was in that comp, which was quite interesting.
Not in the photos, man. It looked like the same size as the ones you normally make.
Yeah, until
kitchen knife.
Yeah, no, not in the 2-hour forging challenge. It wasn't. In the
2-hour forging challenge. Did I lose 2 hours there somewhere? Did I?
It was 4 hours, but I had to put a bull bar on my car, so I was in for the
speed. I'll do this and put a bull bar on my car. Why not?
I did. I got a new car and I had to get the bull bar on before Monday, and I knew I had to get me shit together, so it's all right. I got done.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm looking forward to getting back to a fucking knife show somewhere and catching up with you all face to face again. I'll tell you, it's
absolutely, man.
It's the worst thing about this coronavirus.
So I noticed the other day Queensland's been knocked on the head, hasn't it?
Yes. Queensland's now been pushed out to the weekend before Easter next year.
Yeah.
Right. And so that leaves Adelaide show this year. Is that still going to happen? And then obviously Canberra show.
We're looking at the current situation, and we're not sure what's going to happen because the borders are still closed. So we need to just jump in and have a look at that shortly and see what's happening.
And we don't want to.
This is the problem.
Like as much as we want to be famous, we don't want to be the show where 400 people got coronavirus.
Yeah,
you know?
And it's for anyone that's listening.
All publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, the difficult situation is we can make a call on it, as we've seen. We could make a call on it and say, okay, the show will go ahead, and then something happens, and then the government of that state turns around and says, no, we're closing our borders, and then we're screwed. So, we've got to try and plan it so it's the best interest for everyone that's going to be involved. So it is a tough call. Don't trust us. It doesn't come lightly when we say we're calling a show off.
And Adelaide,
Corin's got the toughest part of it. He's got to explain to his board why all of a sudden they've got about $18,000 less on their expenses for the year because he hasn't been paying drinks over the bar at 3 shows.
Yeah.
They're like, my God, Corin, what's going on? He's like,
That's easy to fix. We'll just have hammering at Corin's house. Corin shout.
Oh, you'd think they'd give me a discount
AGM.
too. Yeah, we'll come on. It's cheaper. Yeah, the AGM's coming up in October.
Yeah, AGM in October. Let's hope the borders are open for New South Wales and ACT.
Corin, you might have to organise a digital show.
Somebody did. Yeah, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are doing that, and I think it's a good idea in a lot of ways. But Facebook is like the everyday digital show anyway. It's just not the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm all for the raffles. The Knife Art Association has moved its business model over to gambling and raffles, and we'll hopefully be able to keep paying our bills for a while just running raffles. So the way it's going, we've got a lot of support for the last one. 75% of the tickets are already sold, and that's it.
Yeah, we're trying to put as many big ticket items as we can into the limit which we've got, which is $5,000 worth of prizes. And each month it's a little bit of the old Tetris of what can we put in first, second, and third prize all fits in well. That's going to keep people interested in. Also, you know, we understand that everyone's contributing, which is awesome. Andrew Smith, who was here earlier, he really appreciates it because he's our employee, and we have to keep paying Andrew. So the raffles which we're doing are to boost the kiddies so that when we do get the ability to open a show up, it's going to be a freaking good show. That first one that comes in, man, that's going to be benchmark for the rest of them, I reckon.
Good times. And Stanley just commented, Blade Show in America is still going ahead. That's a drink, everybody.
Blade Show, drink up.
I'll
That's
drink
name,
for that.
drink up. Blade Show.
I'm drunk. I'm drunk out. I got empty.
Yeah, I got nothing.
So
it's interesting, but it sounds like Atlanta's open, but you know, mostly for riding and shooting people. But you know, we'll see how that goes.
Oh well.
They need
again, it's only what our media trickles through to us, but you know.
Oh yeah, that's right, mate. That's right. It's you know, it's the land of the free, and I mean, it's the greatest country on earth. We've got to remember that.
Yeah. As Owen Ward said, knife lives matter. Knife lives matter.
Knife lives matter.
Oh God.
Let's get political.
Hey, guess what? No.
No, he's from Canada. They got a cream for that.
Mark,
Canadians are
get
just Americans, but unarmed.
Get yourself some ferric chloride, mate. This is a question on the screen. Get yourself some ferric chloride and mix it up at about 3 to 1. I actually
3 to 1 or 4 to 1.
Yeah, 3 or 4 to 1. And if you get it as crystals, you mix it up per the directions on the pack, like add a litre of water or whatever, and then dilute it further using normally distilled. People like to use distilled water. I don't.
Just boil the kettle and pour that in there.
Yeah, I probably should.
That's close enough. That's close enough.
If your edge starts to lose its punch, pouring a bit of hydrogen peroxide will kick it on a bit.
There you go.
Throw
I just
somebody-
dip it out and get some new
Throw
stuff.
some steel wool in there.
That's how you make it, Kev. Hydrochloric
I know.
acid, steel wool, and peroxide. But
Yeah.
again, that's chemistry in that.
Yeah, no, that's cool
Chemistry
shit.
in that.
If anyone hasn't seen a barrel knife, just looking at Matt Snape's comment. Anyway. That's gonna get thin real quick, isn't it?
What do you
No,
mean real quick? That's going to get thin real quick.
Two of us can do that, Corin.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Jamie,
That's a
stop
nice
it.
looking knife, Jamie. Where'd you get that?
Sorry,
Look at it.
three of us. I found it in the help and skills that I developed at your workshop, Bunnings Picton.
Oh, look at that. We got Swiss Armies are out. Look at this.
But look, that's a 2-blade, Jamie. Is yours 1 or 2 blade?
It's only one, mate.
I've only had 8 days, mate. Come on.
I've only got
Just
a little
a wee paddle
Check
one, mate.
Is that the one you've been flipping in the background there?
Yeah, it's the smaller Z2. They make the little 22.
There you go. What do we got?
I won it in
Look
a
at
raffle.
us. We're all playing with our knives.
Yeah. What's that one you had just there, Stuart? What was that? The yellow one?
It's what do they call it? Used to be Wenger, and
Yeah.
and then now what do they call it? I'll have to.
They used to call me a wanker too, but yeah.
We still do, but only when you're not listening. And I got my little antique German 3-blade folder here. Tiny little thing that's kind of cool.
Oh.
Nice one.
I found me poo shovel.
Talking about antique German. Where are we?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get some collection.
There's
I got
my
boobies on mine.
antique German contribution. Dad found it in an alleyway when he was growing up in Sydney.
Yeah, wow.
It's in rough condition. Like,
Everyone used
someone
to,
took an angle grinder to it.
have them.
Yeah.
All the Boy Scouts used to have them.
All right, Corin's opened the cupboard, so we're going to get the full.
Oh, we are getting the gambit now. But, you know.
One I got the last one I made out.
I got the 4 ring.
Nice
What's
one,
that
Tim.
piece of crap?
Thanks. Finished that one up.
I'm talking
I
to
was
Corin, yeah.
a bit scared to finish that, and I went to the Canberra Knife Show, and that's sort of where I got an idea of what a good handle feels like. I was hand sanding it in the car on the way up to the show.
Which one is it, Corin?
That is
I got
Sappers
one of
knife,
them.
Corin.
The one
Yeah,
you
I got
gave
one
me.
of those out the back.
Did I give it to you?
Yeah,
Did I?
yeah.
You must have been drunk.
It's
Definitely
got
good,
WE
Go on.
and WE stamped on the blade.
Yeah.
So that's what's that?
Whitting's like.
Whitting's
I'll
like.
be your buddy with the marlin spike.
There you go. Look at that.
You know what those spikes are for, mate? They're for undoing knots.
Undoing knots, yeah.
Jamie
They
uses
are
one to
not-
comb his beard.
What's that?
You use one to comb your beard, don't you, mate? Undo all
Oh,
the
you
knots.
have to, mate. Like
Well,
dreadlocks in there, mate.
I've got a Lego samurai that has a Lego samurai sword.
It's probably sharper than your knife, Kev.
Hey, Kev, you win the
True.
you win the prize for being the coolest kid here, mate.
Sick, yeah.
Actually, you know what?
Actually,
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm show off a bit.
You see that one?
Or I've got my forged Zulu spear.
Yes, Corin. That's the one. Yeah.
That one, this one here is a genuine Unky Keith folder.
Yeah,
Unky
nice.
Keith said he was never going to make folders. What happened there?
I'm too scared to make folders.
Boom.
Don't be scared.
That's a genuine Keith flutter folder.
I remember
Unky
Unky Keith telling me he'd never make folders. They're too complex. Doesn't want to do it.
There you go.
He still doesn't want to make them.
No, obviously.
And that's like my favourite knife.
Was that a Moira? Mora.
Yeah, it's a
favourite.
Mora. Yeah.
Moira.
I haven't got a proper Mora. I got one of the Barco Moras for like $10 at some little place. It's made by Mora Knife under license by Barco.
And this is my first forged knife. There you go.
Didn't you give your first forged
blow
one
my
away
mind,
for an
Jesus.
anvil?
What's that?
Didn't you give your first forged one away for an anvil?
No, that wasn't my first.
That's my
That was,
first forged knife.
I did trade a knife for an anvil, but it wasn't my first.
No.
First forged knife. there
Spine
you go.
work.
You know what I've just realised, guys? This makes for awesome radio.
Yeah, it really does. And this one here.
Yeah.
And this one
We're
here.
not recording this as a podcast anyway, mate.
Does anyone recognise this one?
Like last time.
How good's this, Kev?
Oh.
You recognise?
I know what that is, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not even.
We all know
I'm
what
not
that
even
is.
going to give the prick
The
credibility.
most controversial folder in the world.
But
So
you can buy them on Alibaba.
Yeah.
Does
for
his
$2
name start with
$54.
JJ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of good people whose names start with JJ, but we're not going to fucking worry. Don't even give him
That's all
time of
Actually,
day.
Yeah,
I've got one here from when I was 8 years old.
That was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're not far off. You're not far off. Good one.
Nice.
Well, there we go. A little bit of show and tell to finish the night off.
Yeah. There we go.
Nice one.
All right. Well,
Have a nice night.
Boom. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Great to see you, Stuart.
Yeah.
Really
yeah,
good,
good
to see you, mate.
Stuart.
Thanks for dropping in, mate.
Nice to meet you, fellas.
Yeah, good on you, Tim. Good to meet you. Good to see what you're doing, and looking forward to meeting you at a show as soon as we can.
I'll be along as
Ja-
soon as I can. Don't worry.
Jamie, thank you for everything you do for the industry, mate. Thank you for being who you are and what you're doing, mate. We always love you, mate. Thanks for dropping in.
Yeah, get your car fixed. I need some electrical work.
Hey, Jamie.
give me a couple of weeks, Kev. I'll be down. No problem.
Hey, Jamie,
Oh, mate, no worries.
remember one thing, mate.
What's that?
You forget your pan, you're not invited.
Yeah, I know.
No, I've got the pan. I've got 4 packets of Kransky waiting for him.
Oh, so you got a reserve pan in case he accidentally leaves his at home. Yeah,
So is
because
that like? Is that
Troy
like you
Boy?
need a trail of Kransky out from the street to attract the sausage man?
yeah.
Give us a date when you can come up, Troy Boy. We'll have a hammer and make a barrel knife or something.
Yeah, that would be good actually. Actually, I want to learn. I
That's
want to learn how to
live.
make one before Will does.
My door's always open to you, sunshine. You know that.
Yeah, we'll have
And
to.
you have to replace the one you've lost. Yeah. So
No, I haven't lost it. He reckons.
Oh yeah, righto. It's all right.
I'm
And
chasing
just
him down
before we
tomorrow.
go-
Don't you worry.
Before we go, Matt Snape. See you, mate.
Matt.
Have a good one. Fuck yeah.
See you, bud.
Nice one, Kyle. That was awesome. For those that didn't see it, he just brought Matt Snape in to stick his finger up at him and dropped him out again.
We've only done that about 5 times in the last 10 minutes.
No, I know, but it's comedy gold, but you can't hear that.
Yeah, we didn't record. Oh, I did record, but I'm not likely to put this up as a podcast.
We're not likely. This is going as a podcast.
This is just a sort of a friendly night, just to sort of flick everyone through. We might put it up on a podcast. I'll have to listen to it. Probably sound pretty crap. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody. And thanks for listening. Thanks to all our regulars. And if you enjoyed tonight, let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. And we'll try and do it again soon.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Cheers, brothers. See you, guys.
Have a good one.
Same to you.
And we are no more.